So page 342 in lesson 1 talks about African Americans, both free and enslaved. At the start of the war, there was approximately 1/5 of all colonists were of African descent. Some of them were living in the North, for example, in Philadelphia. Free African Americans were living in Philadelphia. However, remember most of the African Americans that were living in the colonies at this time were living in the South and were living as slaves. Many of them chose to fight in the war because they were promised their freedom. About 5,000 enslaved Africans fought for the Continental Army because they were promised their freedom. James Armistead was actually a spy for George Washington. And some actually fought for the British. Also, the governor of Virginia promised freedom to enslaved people who fought for the British. His group had more than 300 American soldiers. African American soldiers. The other story in your Journey's book about James Forten, at the time he was 14 years old when he joined the Continental Army. Out in the West, beyond kind of those 13 major colonies that we've been studying along the coast, we've got the frontier. The frontier was fought over during the French and Indian War. So the Native Americans had kind of mixed feelings about the British. The British tried to take their land. The Native Americans fought with the French to keep their land. And then when the British won the land, the king did offer up that proclamation saying that he was reserving that land for the Native Americans. So some of them were not really sure who to trust, which continues on in the history. Native Americans, some of them decided to fight with the British, and some fought with the Patriots. Their hope was to just try and keep their land. Obviously, that did not ultimately help. During the Revolutionary War, Americans faced personal and economic hardships. Many women and African Americans contributed to the Patriot cause. At first, Native Americans and settlers in the Westlands were neutral, but later they joined the fighting. Lesson 1.